Hello guys, it's Paula, and I'm back today for us to try to finish the inside of the altered journal. I've been gone for a week. I'm doing pretty good, and still very low energy, but I thought this would be something I could handle today, and so let's get going on it. Okay, now it may not be every day this week, maybe alternating days that I'm able to do a video. Depends on how I'm feeling. So I'm going to try to do one at least once every 2 days, if not every other day. Okay, now let's go from here. So this is Roxy Creations digitals that I have here. And I'll put her link below. And you can go there and purchase her digitals if you would like to have her digitals. And I have 2 copies of them. And so I thought we have this very last set of pages. We have this flat side here, this pocket at an angle here. Now, we could have easily attached that to that and had one top pocket. But I just thought we'd go ahead and just do it loose and do this last little section. So we have 3 flat sides and 2 angled sides. So the first thing we got to do is get all these cut out. So I just have been tearing with a ruler. I tore out one set already so we wouldn't have to spend all your time watching me, cut these things out. I'm trying to remember exactly what I did with what. Now, that's how it works, right? You do it and then you don't remember. Okay. So, we're going to do it like this, I think. I wanted this up here to come down. I don't know if I did this right or not. I might have cut it off way too soon. I did, but that's all right. It will work. We're just going to bring it down like this. Keep it on the straight line of the pocket that's going at an angle here. And I'm just going to take a pencil and mark where I think we should tear. And this is kind of what we've been doing on all the pages so far. So I'm just kind of guessing at where we're at here. And it just makes it lots easier to do it that way. Now, I'm going to miss not having this book to do because it's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys will attempt to make one of these books. I think you'd really love and enjoy it. Okay, so this one, I forgot to mark the very end. That's not going to help me, huh? So we need to mark it right there, and right there. Okay. So I hope you guys have had a good week while I've been down under. And I don't mean really down under. I have, had my sister has been here helping me. And honestly, she's always so much help. But I really have bounced back without any problems so far. And if I could just get my hip to stop hurting, which adds to the aggravation, I would be a new person. Okay. Let's see. Now, I'm going to take the ruler also. And I think the more you do this, taking the ruler and marking the edges where you want to tear and so forth, the easier it gets to do this in your books. To get that look you want, you want it to look like it's that shape. Okay. And I end up liking the way it looks. I think you'll like this. I've been wanting to use these 2 doilies. Just haven't done it yet. Haven't had a reason. Okay. I'm sorry, this thing's wanting to flip every direction. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. You can, okay. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to tear this part straight across right here. See where the ruler is right here on the left? I'm going to tear that, and hopefully everything stays in place. The second I put weight down on it, I'm just going to turn this for a second. The second I put weight down on it, it wants to flip the book out, of course. It wants to make it difficult for me. Okay. Now, there we go. Whoops. I'm sorry, guys. This mat is so noisy. I should have traded out mats, but it's, you know, what can I say? It is a lot of work to do that every single time. Okay. Now, I just decided to fold it and then tear it off the page. We'll see what it turns out like. Keep your fingers crossed. Yeah, that's good enough. Now, we might have to shorten some of it. You know, we might have to shorten a few things to get it to fit on there appropriately, but we got to do something with this corner right here, which really, there's not much to do except maybe add some of this, we'll just add some of this, the white that is actually part of it right here. We'll just tear that straight. If I can get my ruler to stay down. When you use the cardstock, it's much harder to get this to maneuver like you want it to. And so just a little FYI there. I think I got this a little wider than we need. I think I'll also thin that out a little bit while we're doing it, so we don't have to have it down in our binding. But I'm gonna have to turn the ruler the other way. Try to keep you guys on camera. It's not easy when you start getting this many things out here, you know. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's better. Much better. Yay. Okay, now I cut the little piece to put in here. And I figure we'll put it in first, and then we can work our way around it. If I can get it in there. Right there. See, that will be perfect. Okay, so I also broke my good glasses today, so forgive me if I can't see as clearly as I would like. It's so aggravating. The lens just popped out and I can't get it to go back in. And I see better when I'm doing my videos with that set of glasses. So it's kind of like the blind leading the blind here. No glasses. We'll see what happens. And I'm still very hoarse from the anesthesia, so you'll have to excuse me for that. I put some tea here beside me to see if that wouldn't help, and so I have to take a sip of it every now and then. Okay, so we are literally at the back of this book. I mean, we are at the major countdown of being done with this book. It has been so much fun, guys, doing this with you. I'm going to miss it. I know I just said that a minute ago, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to miss it. It's just lots of fun. Okay. Let's see. I have to tell you though, you know, I've had several surgeries in my life. I'm not a young person, so I've had quite a few, like most people my age. But it ended up being a halfway decent experience. You know, usually the whole thing is not a great experience, but for once, I can honestly say I don't have anything to complain about other than they sent me home in a a smaller gadget than what I would have liked. But other than that, I'm doing great. The second I woke up, I was ready to come home. Excuse me. That was a big yawn. I was ready to come home the second I woke up. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's get out of here. Enough of this. And it wasn't long after that that I got to, so. Okay. Okay, so line this up here. On the left side, I went ahead and just took this one and I just cut it down to this size. And we're going to do the same thing with this paper right here. So I'm going to move the book to the side. And I just measured around the outside and just laid this out here and tore it to the size we want, you know. So this would be easy because, let me see where I want to put it here. Kind of keeping it where I have it on the other side. That way we can kind of have it look cohesive. But it really doesn't matter. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Pretty simple. We'll do the other side the same way. We'll just tear straight down. Okay, and then we're just going to trim down here. Get this edge torn off so it doesn't have a clean look. I'd rather it be a little raggedy. Okay. Okay, now we'll just slip this in the middle. Basically what we're doing is we've measured once and we're cutting twice. Does that make sense? Or tearing twice. That way they look as much alike as they can. Okay, now let's put this one on the left side here. And I think I'm just going to put the glue straight down on the book because it's going to be the whole size of the book over here. I think it'd be easier than trying to transfer it over. And we can coat it as heavy as we want. Now this is cardstock, like I said, so I'm doing it a little heavier than normal. And hopefully that will be exactly what it needs. Okay, perfect. Let me get over here. I say perfect as I tear it up. Didn't get it lined up as much as I want it to on that one side. Okay, let's see what happens now. Now I go back around these on the edges with some stronger glue. And when I say stronger, I mean like some glitter glue or something like that will hold the little tiny edges down, you know, because the edges always want to pop up. It's just something that happens. So let's go ahead and put this one down on this other side here. While we're at it, might as well get it down. I think the further you go in an altering book, when you alter a book, the further you go through the book, the easier it gets. And then you also still come up with little issues, you know, that you have to try to figure out how to fix. But I think it was fun. I would probably do it again sometime. Was it? It's very time consuming, I will tell you that. It's not something you can just do overnight. I don't know how long we've been doing it, but it's been over 2 months, I know. Now, I do want to come up with an outside cover for this as well. And not sure yet exactly how we're going to do that. But I put this other one on here. All right. Start up here, make sure it gets up here in this corner correctly. I probably should have cut that one a little bit shorter through here. I'm going to turn it upside down for a minute. Let me see if I can get it a little shorter without it looking kind of, yeah, I can. I'm going to trim it with some scissors. I'm trying to make it a little bit shorter because it's wanting to stick up out of the spine. That's the nice thing, is you can always go back and make any corrections, at least if you do it before it dries. So I'm just going to add some more glue down here on the spine area where I lifted it up. That way we can make sure it sticks down really good. Yeah, that's better. So I have a book in mind that I'm going to work on. Look how cool that looks, you guys. Man, I love that. Just flipping from doily to doily. Isn't that pretty? I need something for back here. I don't know if I have this doily one more time. If I do, we can stick it back there. I'm not sure. Let me look in my stash here. I can't remember how many I had. But I like the way it alternates. I'm looking here. I'm sorry I'm off camera, but there's just nowhere to put this thing. Well, I guess that was the only two I had made copies of. But there are plenty of other things in my little box here that we can do the last page with. And even, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. I just found another one. Right there. There we go. So we get to end it like we want. With the same doily. This one is on paper. That's why it's not quite as bright. But that's okay. We don't care, right? It tears and works the same way. And so that's all that matters, is that it's going to work the same way. Okay. Now we're going to go over here. Let's see how far over we need this to be. We'll trim some of that off right there. Okay. Pull that in right there. And just trim off the edges with your ruler. Just gives it a kind of a rough edge. And then you're going to kind of look here and decide, okay, so I need to do it right here. And you'll be amazed at how good you get with that stupid ruler. I never dreamed I'd be able to tear that quickly with it, but I did. So this is going to be on the very back page, and let's just glue it on, and then I'll come back and do something on the inside. We'll do that, and probably match the front inside cover. That's usually what I do. but not always. All right, now let's see. I wanted these last few pages to kind of speak for themselves, you know. Just be decorated nice and flowery, and and then we'll make the journaling items to go inside, and we'll ink it really well, but I'll do the inking off camera. It's just easier than to try to ink it, flipping the book all over the place, and you know. But here is how it's looking right now. We've got this and this. So I'm going to get my hole punch, because I had hole punched several of these little pockets. That one, this one, not several, two. We have 2 pockets, and I punched both of those. There we go. Now I'm looking at this thinking, I wished I had trimmed it off a little bit, because it's wanting the page to bend up a little, but that's okay. It's done it a million times throughout the book, and that's fine. It ends up looking just fine. So now, as far as decorating this pages go, I'm thinking of what we can do. I've got this one thing I want to use. It has a pocket on this side and a pocket on this side, and I thought it would look cute down in here with a couple journaling cards in it. So we're going to put it right there when it's all said and done, okay? And then I've got this cute little girl I've been wanting to use throughout the whole thing, that's in a seed packet that's been collaged. One of the first collages I ever did, and I want to put her in our little triangle pocket. Let me get it, if I can get it open here. I want her to be in the middle of that. So when you flip it back and forth, you can pull it out either way. And then over here we need one more thing, and I thought we could do something with, we'll have to see how wide we can get down in there. Let's see how wide it is. Well, it will fit that size, so there you go. All right, so what I'm thinking is we'll go ahead and we'll leave this little girl in, because she fits just fine. We do need to ink a little bit though before we do that, so I'm going to set her out until I'm able to get everything inked, and I'll ink that off camera. Now, as far as the pockets and so forth, I think I really like exactly how this has turned out. Like, I don't want to add anything on top of it. I think Rachel's doily speaks for itself. And yeah, I like that. I'm going to see, I don't know if I have, I didn't pull it out here, I'll put it that way. The paper that's on the inside front cover, we use some of Artie Maze's kind of filler pages. And this was the pink. So back here, I was thinking it'd be pretty to use the blue, but I don't know if I've got it. So I'm going to thumb through this little stack real fast. If I've got it, it might be in this stack, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm just keeping a few of the small scraps over here, because we can't keep all this stuff forever, right? We'd be like crazy people. These are all my stamped images. Maybe we can use some stamped images on this one, on some of the decorations or embellishments. I don't know why I called it decorations. I've been gone too long, haven't I? Okay, let's see. In here, if I have a solid color, now that green would be pretty too back there, but it's not really what I had in mind. Here's a lighter pink. Let's hold on to that one. If we can't find the darker pink, we're going to use that lighter pink, because that will look as good. I got to go through all these papers and get them in some kind of order, because I don't know who belongs to which paper anymore. Since we've been doing the book, I've just been, I think we're going to use that pink one. I've just been going through them and pulling stuff out and using it. I couldn't keep up. I wasn't able to keep up with whose paper was whose paper, you know, unless I knew for a fact that it was somebody in particular's paper. Now let's see how I did this in the front. I did cut it, well, not perfectly straight, but I did cut it pretty straight. I'm going to use a ruler and measure to get an exact size for the inside cover. Now I know I had already done the inside cover before I started the book initially. So let's see here. We just want to make sure we cover the paper that's on the book. Does that make sense? So let's start down here. On this end, it would help to be on the right end. Okay, so what, 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 by 6. So I don't know if I want to go complete 6. Just a second. 9 1/4 by 5 3/4. Yeah, let me write that down. 9 1/4, 5 3/4. Okay, that will help. It will help. So now I'm going to scoot this over for a minute, and we're going to attempt to tear this. Hopefully we get it right. You know what? I think I might go ahead and just do it on the... I know we have torn everything, but since I only have the one piece, I think we're going to go ahead and attempt to tear it, or cut it with the cutter here. So we're going to do 9 1/4. And I'm just going to do it to get the measurements as close to right as I can, by 5 3/4. Yeah. Now, if that's not perfectly straight, it's because the paper has been torn on prior to us doing this. I had used it on something, part of it. So, as long as it's close enough, if we have to do something different, we will. Look at this, how good that's going to look. It's gonna look pretty good, even though we tore some of it. That's great. I'm just going to cut that one little pointed edge off. Perfect. Now, I think on this, because it's the hard part of the cover, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on it. And that will help keep it on long term. And, yeah, I think it'll look better. I think it'll look better to pull out some Fabri-Tac. I sat in here all morning in my craft room. I sorted some things, and I just couldn't get my go to go. I don't know. It's so funny every time. Have you ever noticed that when you have a break from what your routine is, it just takes forever to get back into your routine? Yesterday, my sister and her husband went home, and, you know, I had been silly, and I had gone out the night before on Saturday night to see my daughters play again with my sister and her husband. And I shouldn't have done that, because it really took a lot out of me. I would say it was a small setback. And yesterday, I piled up in the chair, or on my couch yesterday, and had my computer and watched YouTube videos, and slept all day yesterday. Slept clear up to the time I went to bed last night. And I was just so tired. And it's like, you know, you got to take care of yourself. You're not a spring chicken. And so, yeah, I will do better next time. I won't let that happen. But I was so miserable. And then I slept straight through the night. Woke up one time And and that's pretty straight through for me. And then I got up about 8:30 this morning, and I just felt like a zombie, like I'd had way too much sleep and like I needed sleep again, when in reality I just needed to wake up, you know. And so I made some tea with caffeine and started drinking on that, and it helped a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't have that much energy. And the week before my surgery, we had all those construction people here at the house. Well, that wore me down before I ever even had it. And I mean, just having them in the house and trying to get things done, and housekeeper was here cleaning, and they were sawing, and it was a little on the crazy side. Don't want to repeat that week again. Okay, so now we've got this back on here, and I don't know what we're going to do with this portion, but I think we can go ahead. Let me see how much time we've got. 31 minutes. Let's go ahead and ink a little bit while we're on here. Let me see how I did the inking in the back before. I just did it the same way. So we're just going to ink away here. Basically, we're just going to ink around the edges of each page and around each scallop that we make for a pocket. And if there's any loose edges, take your glitter glue, and now would be the time to go around your edges and get everything glued down nicely. Now, I won't do that on camera because that would be boring to sit and watch. But, yeah. And then just kind of work your inking in. I just want it to have that dirty old look. You know, just dusty and stained and like it came right out of the attic kind of look. The same way I've been doing it through the whole book. I just realized I don't think I've even eaten lunch today, and it's after 2 o'clock. Well, it's 1:30. It's not 2 o'clock yet. Makes it look all rusty and old, and I like that look. This one has a little bit of a white background, so it will really need to be antiqued. Yeah, there's that one. And I'm not trying to do this perfect. Like, I'm not worrying about it making perfect strides across the paper. I'm not trying to blend it like a beautiful blended piece. I'm just inking it down like it's just old worn out something come out of the attic. Nothing fancy. Then we have this last piece right here. I don't know how much paper. I should have kept, I probably should count and see how many pieces of paper was used in this book, because it was a lot. And not counting that, but all the ephemera and lace and all the other stuff, there was a lot used in it. So let me get in here and see if I can get a little bit of ink just inside that page a little bit right there so it doesn't look white. All right. All right, so we have that part is all done. Now this little girl is already done too, so I'm going to stick her in here. She is completed. I'm going to put her toward the front like that. Yeah. And as far as this goes, I'll need to ink it as well. It hasn't been inked. This was one of those that we made a mistake on, or I made a mistake on. You didn't make a mistake on it. I stitched on it wrong. I stitched it closed when I was supposed to stitch around the edges. Yeah, it was a silly thing to do. Trust me. Especially since the inside had some really cool pockets that go with it as well. But I had worked so hard on this, I was like, I am not throwing that away. It's going to go somewhere. Because I like the stitching on it. The way I ended up stitching around the outside of it looks pretty cool. So it's going to end up being a journaling card holder, because I'm going to put 2 journaling cards in it. And they're going to be actually just be index cards that I fold, but we don't have a lot of space in between right here. So we have to, you know, make sure it goes in easily, and it does on both of them. We don't want it to, you know, be so tight that you can't do what you need to do. And so I thought what we'll do is just ink these up, and then I'll put some kind of collaging on them as well. If I have any big pieces left. I might have some big pieces left. Right here's some. See, we could put some of that across the top, and we'll just collage these up, or I will. I'm not going to do it on video today because I don't have everything I need out to do that. But when I come back to you with this book, I will have try to have an idea how we can decorate the actual outside of this book. I'm going to have to give it some thought. It may not be in the next day or two, but I want to have clarity when I'm doing it. And I don't know how much clarity I've got right now. Just since I'm just getting back into the whole collaging thing right now since I had my surgery. So anyway, I will let you guys go. And I hope you enjoyed this last page. I hope you enjoyed doing this whole process. And if you haven't seen it from start to finish, I recommend you go back and start from the front and just binge watch it. It was a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun doing this book. At least I have. And I hope you all feel the same way. And I'll be back in the next day or two to see if we can't do our rainbow page that needs to be done. I'm trying to do a little catch up before we start the next book. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Welcome to all the new subscribers, and thank you to all the ones who have just stuck it out with me. Thank you guys. Bye.